Hey, Cockle This is Kitty Godolzanowski with Macedonian Athletics Sports Academy. And today we're going to go over a few breakouts of the MSXL Naptown Open. This field's pretty even on how aggressive each side can be, but I'd like to note to watch out for the pillar on the 50 Dorito because you can bounce shots off of it into anyone playing those W's right there. So you want to play that pillar to avoid the bounce shots, but be aware of where the other team is because that bunker is pretty small and it's that far up the field. You still don't have great shots from these three bunkers either. So you're going to have to get up to these other two Doritos on their side of the field to start really seeing the backs of the other players on the snake side. As for the snake, I like the snakes on these type of layouts because once you're in it, you're basically dominant until someone comes and tries to trade out with you. So if you don't have a shitty back player, you're typically good to go and crawl all the way down it and do some killing. The third knuckle, you'll have a better shot on the D2 and the pillar, whereas that last knuckle on the snake gives you a great shot on the 50 Dorito and a better shot onto the temple and the D1. Now for this first breakout, we're going to have a guy in the Aztec on the Dorito side, the pillar, the temple on the snake side, and the tall cake on the snake side, as well as a guy in the W. Now this is going to be more of a kind of a conservative play towards the Dorito side. We're going to send a guy up there to that W and into this pillar to kind of zone off that Dorito side with the intentions of the guy in the Aztec eventually bumping into the Doritos. And then that guy in the pillar either following behind him or going to the corner to back him up. And then you're going to have that guy in the W try to trade out with someone on that Dorito side or get a kill at least, and then make an aggressive move or just lock it down. And then the snake side is just going to pretty much do their thing and just try to control the snake and make sure they don't get down the snake before you get down the Dorito side. For the second breakout, it's pretty much going to be the same breakout, except instead of going to the W, we're going to go to D2 off the break. You can go to D1, but I don't like small Doritos, so I just suggest D2. And it's really not that, more of a run or a gap, really going to D2 on this layout instead. But we're going to switch the lanes up here a little bit. Because we're going to D2 instead of to the W, the guy that goes to the pillar, he has to shoot back at that temple there on the snake side because he has a cross shot into the Doritos as is shown on the picture here that we're also going to be doing. So you're going to want to make sure you shoot towards that temple to try and mess his lane up that way so he doesn't shoot your guy going to the D2. He's really the only guy that can really shoot him, unless the guy coming out to the Aztec on their side is a pretty good shot and then has potential to hit you, but you're going to be diving into the D2, so you should be okay. And then you also have our guy in the Aztec. He's going to be shooting back at his mirror, so we're going to play that out going to the D2 to make an aggressive move down that Dorito side. And then lastly, you're going to have that guy in the temple snake side just doing his thing and controlling the snake side and making sure they don't make a real aggressive play down the snake to interrupt our aggressive Dorito side play. Now, as the guy goes down the Dorito side, the guy in the Aztec or the pillar is going to fill out to the corner, and they're going to follow him and give him support down that Dorito side. For this third breakout, this is going to be more of a snake push. It's kind of like that first breakout for the Dorito side, but we're doing it on the snake side now. We're going to pull Anchor out there on the Dorito side, and he's just going to go out to that Dorito corner, and he's just going to lock it down from that Dorito side. And he's just going to be, pretty much the lone guy out there on the Dorito side the whole game, holding it down. He's not going to make stupid gun battles. He's just going to try to slow him down on that Dorito side and stay alive. Now, making that Dorito corner ain't bad on this layout at all because of those pillars and that can right there on that Dorito side blocking out some of the shots. So we're going to send him to the corner. So the guy going to the pillar, he's going to stop in the open and shoot that same shot again that we just talked about into that temple on the snake side. Now, the reason we're doing this is just try to catch them going to that temple. And in case they're also going to the temple and making that cross shot to shoot that corner on the Dorito side. Again, it's serving two purposes here. If we get him shot out of that snake temple, it's going to open up that snake side more because that's really a real defensive point for that snake side is that temple, that position there. And it's also a threat to our guy going to the corner. So we want to make sure we're going to be shooting over top the W along that crest to put paint in before that temple. Now, as we're doing this, we're going to be sending a guy up to the W on the snake side. He's going to try to pick off anyone going past that tall cake on the snake side into the God or into the corner. That's going to be his big priority right there, or even into the snake. We just want to try and get a kill with that guy going up to the W. If you're running up there, you should always get a kill if someone's going out wide. So that's our goal right there. If they don't go out wide, then he's just cutting down that side of the field so they can't push. The guy going to the temple here on snake side, he's going to sit out in the open here a little bit and shoot a real solid lane to the snake. He's helping out that W in case the guy going to the W misses. It doesn't hurt to have 2-3 guns in one position, guys. It's a crucial spot. We don't want them getting out wide on the snake side because that's where we're trying to push. So we're going to dedicate a guy staying out here in the open and try and lob some paint over that way and get a kill off the break. Then after the breakout, he's going to fill up into the temple. He's going to be cautious of paint coming over that W too, guys. If people are consistently putting paint over that W at the temple, don't do that. Don't stay in the open. Just go up into the temple. But if other teams aren't doing it, then, we're going to take advantage of that. Sit in the open and throw a good lane down to the snake side. And then our front snake player, he's going to go into the God. He's not going to go snake. I don't like to send people to the snake off the break just because it's too much of a risk when you can just go to the God and then smartly and safely fill into the snake later. We're going to have 2 people dedicated to that side to help him out, so to draw guns away from him as well as put guns in for him. So there's no point to risk him going straight into the snake right away. Getting into S1, not a big deal. He's not going to do anything from S1 that he can't do from those gods. So chill out in that God and, get into that snake safely. And then the guy in the temple, he's going to follow up behind him, either into the corner or into the God and give him some little bit of support on that snake side. Now, the guy in the pillar on this breakout, depending on how the breakout goes, if you guys get some kills, but he's going to just kind of address the field. If he should go to the snake side, he can go to the snake side and give some more support. If you guys feel some pressure from the Dorito side, he can sit in that pillar, even fill out into the Aztec and give that guy in the corner a little bit of assistance too after the break. That guy really just has to weigh the field after the breakout, see what the other team does, and make a decision on where he needs to prioritize his gun. But that's pretty much how that breakout's going to go. So this is going to be the final breakout. This is going to be a more conservative breakout / defensive. It's going to be a great breakout for teams if they're in a match and, there's 1 or 2 minutes left in the match and, you just want to kill the clock real quick. You're going to double stack this snake temple. The one's going to be shooting real heavy to the Dorito side. The other one's going to be shooting real heavy to the snake side. You're just going to be trying to slow that team down from this position. You got going to the tall cake on the snake. He's going to go there, read the field, try to fill into the snake if he can eventually. Again, he's not in no hurry. He's just holding that position. Then same with the Aztec on the Dorito side. Same thing, holding that position, just trying to cut the field down from the Dorito side on that Aztec, and then slowly pushing into the Dorito side and filling that way as soon as he gets an opportunity to. Now that pillar on the Dorito side, I got him shooting the snake side just because I like that cross shot into the God to make sure no one can get out wide on the snake. Because honestly, when you're playing a slow point, if they get into the snake, that's something they can crawl down and be aggressive. The Dorito side, they got to cross gaps. You can always shoot before that next gap. They get into the snake, there's no more gaps. They can crawl all the way down the field and really start applying pressure. Then you kind of put a halt on your slow play, right? So we're going to just put emphasis towards that snake side a little more.